All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into the Jobza workforce platform today. We're going to completely demystify this thing and see exactly how it takes those complex, honestly kind of messy agency operations and transforms them into a super streamlined high-speed engine.
So, think about this for a second. How do you actually coordinate thousands of workers? We're talking managing their contracts, their daily shifts, their payments, without just completely drowning in paperwork? If you're managing an agency in a regulated labor market, you already know the absolute headache of manual handoffs. Chasing down disconnected documents, trying to figure out who is literally assigned where. It's exhausting, right?
Well, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the operations workspace, then walk chronologically through Phase 1 workspace setup, Phase 2 worker configuration, Phase 3 daily execution, and finally wrap up with built-in operational compliance.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the operations workspace. This is basically the beating heart of Jobza. It's this centralized control layer that just brings everything into one single unified view. If we strip the whole thing down to its core, Jobza's entire flow really just centers on a surprisingly simple three-step lifecycle. Step 1, you set up the workspace. Step 2, configure the workers. And Step 3, run your daily operations. That's the whole shebang. It's this very deliberate progression from setup to settlement. And what that means is, once you build that foundation, the daily execution runs almost on autopilot.
Moving to Section 2, let's look at Day 0. Phase 1, Workspace Setup. You can really think of this phase as laying the critical scaffolding for a massive skyscraper. If that scaffolding is rock solid, you can build as high as you want.
This is where you literally define the reality of your agency within the system. You're defining workspace roles, setting strict permission scopes. You're adding operating locations and carefully granting your agency staff access. By nailing down these roles and permissions right off the bat, you dictate exactly who can see what and who can authorize what. And this is huge, because when that massive volume of daily requests eventually hits the system, your internal team knows exactly what their swim lanes are. It completely eliminates operational bottlenecks before they even have a chance to happen.
All right, Section 3, once that scaffolding is up, we move to Day 1, Phase 2, worker configuration. This is the stage where we start bringing the actual people and the specific service packages right into the system.
And wow, the contrast here is night and day. Instead of that chaotic old way we're all used to, the manual handoffs, files scattered across a million email threads, the endless follow-ups, you instantly move to a highly structured new workflow. Before a single workday is even logged, you're setting up clean worker profiles, defining specific service packages, and establishing contract workflows. You're defining exactly what a package looks like, let's say a deep cleaning commercial package, and you're tying the specific worker roles directly to it.
So why does all this upfront configuration matter so much? Well, because it directly impacts your bottom line and your speed. By structuring your workers and packages this way, Jobza actually reduces placement time by a staggering 60%. I mean, you're moving from a really chaotic request intake process to instant matching and assignment. Why? Because the system already knows who's eligible, what the package requires, and what documents are already on file.
Which brings us to Section 4. That incredible speed leads us right into Phase 3, daily execution. The workspace is built, the workers are configured, and now the platform truly comes alive with your ongoing daily operations. Now notice how this daily execution splits into two perfectly synchronized views. You've got the operational track and the financial track. On the operational side, managers are using the deployment board to track live workdays, check on assigned teams, and instantly process replacements if, say, someone calls in sick. But simultaneously, and this is the cool part, your finance team is watching the revenue dashboard. Because the workday is tracked right there in the system, Jobza automatically translates that field execution into service volume, it tracks the receivables, and it calculates your package margin in real time. The operations and the payments literally move as one single product workflow.
And the engine driving all that daily deployment, that's the worker roster. Now, this isn't just some static spreadsheet. It is a dynamic, agency-scoped list of affiliated workers. An operator can jump in there and instantly filter by work-eligible status, specific skills, spoken languages, or even current location. Whether you're staffing a long-term job, a short-term gig, or dispatching a same-day service package, this roster gives you the exact context you need to assign the right person instantly.
And because all of this daily execution, the workdays, the rosters, the payment tracking, is all handled natively within the workspace, the physical paper trail just vanishes. In fact, Jobza eliminates 80% of manual paperwork. You are finally replacing those giant stacks of disconnected documents and endlessly lost sticky notes with clean, structured digital workflows.
Which ultimately means you can scale. With this operational UI handling all the handoffs, a single centralized workspace can seamlessly manage over 10,000 workers. To put that into perspective, centralizing worker files, statuses, and assignments at that kind of massive scale simply isn't possible without this specific kind of structured execution engine.
All right, let's move to Section 5, our final section, and see how this builds into an absolute necessity for regulated markets: built-in operational compliance.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that compliance in Jobza isn't just an afterthought. It's not a separate department. It is baked directly into every single workflow. As you're managing those daily workdays, the system is silently running end-to-end contract lifecycle management in the background. It's firing off automated expiry alerts for medical and identity documents way before they lapse. It's generating centralized audit-ready records and giving you real-time compliance visibility across all of your operations.
And because these tools are woven right into the fabric of the software, agencies can track 100% of their contracts, from the very moment of creation all the way through to completion. Literally nothing slips through the cracks. For example, if a worker's medical clearance expires, the system flags it in the compliance checklist before they can ever be assigned to a new deployment board.
This level of rigor is exactly why Jobza is built for massive, cross-border workforce corridors. We are talking about connecting domestic and commercial services across Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Ethiopia, Kenya, India, and the Philippines. Navigating the complex labor laws and operational demands of all these distinct markets requires an infrastructure that is highly standardized, yet incredibly adaptable.
Ultimately, it all boils down to this one singular philosophy. Configure the operating model once. Run every request through it. By standardizing your setup, your worker records, and your daily execution, you unlock just unprecedented speed and visibility. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. If you could completely eliminate 80% of your operational paperwork tomorrow and radically speed up your placement time, how much larger could your agency grow by this time next year?